Hi, my name's Steven, and this is Rittenhouse Needlepoint. Welcome. This morning we're going to talk about Arctic Rays from Rainbow Gallery. Arctic Rays is described as a wispy fringe. It is sold on cards in 8-yard allotments. It is 100% nylon. It comes in 23 colors, and it is described as a wispy fringe. It is not a thread that I use a lot of because I don't require a lot of wispy fringe, and also because it comes in really bright colors, and it has a glistening effect, which is also not something that I enjoy or appreciate in my needlework. But I did stitch with Arctic Rays for my sample, and I have a renewed appreciation for it. If you use it in the proper way, it can be a very effective thread. And when I say use it in the proper way, I used it as it was suggested by a couple of the books that I consulted. They suggested that it makes wonderful French knots, and indeed it does, especially if you don't wrap the knots too tightly. It allows some of the fringe to remain at the surface. That's really what you want to do with this thread. You don't want, this is not a thread that you want to do basket weave with or pull really tightly on. You want to have some loose tension, and you want to use long stitches, nothing too involved, because really there's no point in doing that. No, the wispy fringe will obscure the pattern of the stitch, and pulling too tightly will also pull all of the thread, all of the wispy fringe toward the surface of the canvas, and you want it to be elevated. So the other thing that I would suggest is that you stitch with this thread last. I did use it on a project. I was very excited. I thought it was a brilliant idea to use it in this one particular area, and I was very excited to see what it was going to look like, and I stitched with it first, and then I had to stitch a surrounding area, and it was a nightmare because the Arctic Rays was in, let's say it was in red, and the surrounding area was in white, and so I had to stitch right up to the edge of the Arctic Rays, and of course the red of the Arctic Rays was pulled down with every white stitch, and I ended up with a lot of stitches that had little red fringe incorporated into them. And so trying to keep the red fringe over the red fringe area and keep the white thread pristine without any red fringe in it, nightmare scenario. So would have been much better had I stitched the white area first and then gone back and added the red fringe, because it's much easier, obviously, to just pick little strands of red fringe off the surface of the white thread than it is to actually tweeze out the red strands that have been stitched into the white area. So, word to the wise, stitch with this thread after you've stitched all of the surrounding areas. Okay, and use it. It's really, I mean, it's very useful, I think, for Halloween canvases or any sort of fun area where you're going for something different and really outrageous, because it's an outrageous thread. I mean, it's wispy fringe. Who can't love wispy fringe, right? Another book suggested that it's perfect for snowy trees, so that could be fun too. Snowy trees, wispy fringe. Gotta love it. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to our thread videos on YouTube. My name's Steven. Take care.